Yep, hello and welcome to this video on acceleration as I promised. So we did a previous video trying to look at application of differentiation in kinematics. And so we looked at how differentiation can be used to actually work around problems surrounded by the concept of velocity. And so in this particular class, we're going to do a continuation of the same class, but we are going to particularly focus on acceleration oriented problems. So we're having a question here, and it's a particle move. A particle moves in a straight line such that its velocity, that is v meters per second, after t seconds is given by v equal to 3, all right, plus 10t minus 2 squared minus t squared, all right. So this here is the function describing the velocity of the moving object, all right. So this is the function describing the velocity of the moving object. So in this particular problem, we have not been given a displacement function. What we have been given is a velocity function, all right. So if we are given velocity function, then we know for sure that the displacement of velocity should always give us the acceleration function. All right. Had we been given the displacement function, then we would have first of all done the first differentiation to get the velocity function, which we already have here, and then we would have performed the second derivation to get the acceleration function. All right. So I'm just putting that across so that when you find such problems, you do not struggle. All right. So when you're given, instead of velocity, if we had been given displacement, we would have done two derivatives. We would have done the first derivative to find the velocity function, which in this particular case we've already been given, and then we would have done the second derivative to find the acceleration function, all right, which will be very important if we are going to solve any problem related to acceleration in this particular question. So this particle moving in a straight line has a velocity of 3 plus 10t minus t squared as a function describing it. And so we are supposed to find the acceleration at t seconds, t equal to 1 second and t equals to 3 seconds, all right. So basically, for us to first solve this problem, we are going to find the derivative of our velocity with respect to t as follows. So that's going to be dv over d2 over dt being equal to, we have 3 here, which is a constant. The derivative of a constant will always be 0. So the derivative of 3 here will be 0, and so as such we won't write it here. All right. So then we'll go and consider the second term, that is 10t. All right. So the derivative of 10t will be 1, which is the index of t. So 1 times 10, and that will be 10. All right. And that will be 10. Then of course, then it will be t, which is raised to 1. So 1 minus 1, all right, that will be 0. Any number raised to 0 equals to 1. Any number raised to 0 will always be equal to 1. And so that means that we're going to have our 10 times 1, which is just be 10. Will just be 10. So the derivative of 10t will be 10 in that particular scenario. All right. So in the last term, then we're having negative t raised to 2. All right. So to derive this, basically it will be 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2. All right. 2, which is the index, times the coefficient, which is negative 1, and that will be negative 2. And then we are having a scenario where it's 1 minus, where it's 2 minus 1, which will be t raised to 1, which is just t. So what we have here is the acceleration function of this moving object. Remember, all right, we get, if we were given displacement, we would have had to do two derivatives. We would have done the first differentiation to get the function v, and then would have done the second differentiation to arrive at the function that we already have here, which is the function describing the acceleration, which basically is the change of velocity with respect to time of moving an object in motion. All right, so what is the acceleration of this particle at what is the acceleration of this particle at t equals to 1, that is at the first second? So we are basically going to substitute for 1 in every, for t, okay, we're going to substitute for 1 in every place we have t in the acceleration function to get the value of acceleration, all right, at t equals to 1. So acceleration, okay, at t equal to 1 will be given by 10, all right, our acceleration function minus 2 into 1, all right, and that will be, all right, 10 minus 2, which basically is 8 meters per second squared, all right, as acceleration is measured in meters per second squared, all right. So that's going to be the acceleration in this particular point, that is at t equals to 1. It's going to be 8 meters per second squared. Then acceleration at t equals to 2, all right, acceleration at t equals to 2, acceleration at t equals to 2, acceleration at t equals to 2 will be given, we'll use the same function, that is 10 minus 2. Now in place of t we'll have 3, all right, acceleration at t equals to 3, all right. So in place of t we are going to have 3 here, so this is acceleration at t equals to 3, sorry, we are solving the second part of this question, all right. So that will be 10 minus 2 into 3, 10 minus 2 into 3, and this basically will give us 10 minus 6, that is 2 times 3, basically it will be 10 minus 6, which will be 4 meters per squared second, all right, per squared second. So this will be the acceleration at the third second, okay, at t equals to 3. So acceleration at t equals to 1 will be 8, and acceleration at t equals to 3 will be 4 meters per squared seconds. So that's it with the part A of this particular problem. All right, so when we think of the instant at which acceleration is equal to 0, so at what point then do we have acceleration being equal to 0? All right, so we will have acceleration being equal to 0 when there is no more acceleration, okay? So there may be movement of the particle, but there is no change of velocity. Notice, yeah, there may be movement of the particle, but there is no change of velocity. So what that means therefore is that acceleration is at 0. We don't have a situation where acceleration is actually changing, and therefore to find a situation, to find the instant, to find the time when acceleration is actually equal to 0, basically means that we are going to take our acceleration function, okay, we are going to take our acceleration function, that is 10 minus 2t, and equate it to 0, all right. So acceleration at rest, all right, acceleration at rest, or at 0, at t at 0 at 0 meters per square second. So basically, where at what point don't we have change of acceleration? So the vehicle may still be moving, however what is not happening is that there is no change of speed, there is no change of velocity, all right. So at that point where we do have change of velocity is where we say that acceleration is at 0, okay. So at what point, all right, so we're going to basically then have 10 minus 2t being equal to 0, and so notice that this will be negative 2t, all right, and so 10 will be taken on the other side, and that will be negative 10, and that our value for t will be found by dividing both sides by negative 2, all right. So when we divide both sides by negative 2, then we find that it will be when t is equal to 5 seconds, all right. It will be when t is equals to 5 seconds that actually acceleration will be equal to 0. All right. So that is it for this particular class. And if you have any question, drop it in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you and have a wonderful day.